When you think of chocolate milk, do you think of recovery athlete's beverage or a sugary children's beverage? It's kind of been a change in the way it's been viewed over the past few years, and that's kind of what my paper is going to look at. The scholarly article is going to look at today. So the name of it is Refueling Athletes: Social Media's Influence on the Consumption of Chocolate Milk as a Recovery Beverage. This article was written by Kayla Coaster and Sharon Lasciella. So the first view some people have when they see chocolate milk is these professional athletes drinking it, and it's a recovery beverage. Is kind of what some companies have been pushing. So here you can see Horford drinking chocolate milk. He's a five-time NBA All-Star, and as well as Katie Ledecky, seven-time Olympic gold swimmer. Um, so the topic of this paper was kind of to see how chocolate milk has changed from a children's beverage, sugary, and just kind of to enjoy, not really any benefits, to a post-workout recovery beverage, which refuels you, and it's for elite athletes that people should drink for actual benefits. Um, they go over how Twitter is starting to push this as a chocolate milk post workout recovery beverage, and wants to get it away from the children's side. And lastly, we'll look at how elite athletes' promotion of chocolate milk as hegemonic figures has really helped this as well. So the theory that this paper used was the hegemonic theory. What this is, it's basically saying that like big and well respected individuals in societies can say something, and then the masses, all the other people in the society, will tend to follow that. So the marketing strategy used by the dairy industry lately, by trying to push this chocolate milk, is hegemony at work, which is just elite athletes saying chocolate milk has helped me, even if it hasn't. So these dominant groups, the elite athletes, are telling the masses what to do, and it's working. The purpose of the paper was to just see how Twitter is used to promote the consumption of chocolate milk. I want to see if Twitter is actually doing something to promote this, and how such promotion is serving to perpetuate and extend hegemonic construct. The methods used by this, so basically, they gathered all the tweets mentioning the Twitter account Got Choco Milk, and all of them mentioning it or posted by Got Chocolate Milk, and they gathered them all. And then the writers of the article developed a coding scheme to basically analyze the tweets and put them into categories so they were easier to read and actually be able to get some data out of them. Um, so their findings were the tweets mostly occurred. The themes that mostly occurred in these tweets were refuel was the biggest one with 41% or 401 tweets. Um, they really this Twitter account had really been pushing chocolate milk refuels you. One of the examples was refuel with low fat chocolate milk post workout and get ready to hit it again. Um, so I'll just take a minute and stop here, and you can pause the video and just think if that would like if you hearing that would make you want to drink chocolate milk as a post workout recovery beverage. Okay, and back. The next biggest, some of the other ones in there were best refueler with 74 different tweets, 8%. This was all in a year, by the way. Um, but 8% of the tweets, 74, included best refueler in their tweets, which is basically claiming that chocolate milk is the best way to refuel after a workout, which we'll see later just simply isn't true, and there's much better beverages to drink. So in discussion, they kind of talked about the promotion of physical activity is not the issue, which they did do a lot of with the Got Chocolate Milk advertising Twitter. But the promoting of the chocolate milk as the perfect beverage for athletes' recovery is the problematic part. It includes significant amounts of added sugar. It isn't good for the digestive system, really, any animal things. High intakes of dairy have also been shown to increase many risk of many diseases. One of them was breast cancer, and there was a long list that they included. Um, and then lastly, they talked about the hegemonic influence is an issue again, all about the major athletes shouldn't just be able to say something and it gets taken as true by the masses. If these athletes aren't really drinking it, because elite, it's not beneficial to the elite athletes with all this sugar. It's not healthy for the athletes that will listen to them. So, an overall review of the article, my thoughts on it, I thought it lacked some proof of the hegemonic theory, which was the main theory it stated. There was really no evidence supporting athletes were promoting this. They didn't give many. They didn't give any names of elite athletes endorsing this or any examples. The lack of proof that Twitter account had direct correlation to any increase in sales or consumption of the recovery beverage. There was no numbers or as sales numbers that I think could have really helped the article, because without that, you don't know if the Twitter page was actually increasing the sales to elite to any athletes. You don't know if the hegemonic theory was even at work, because they may be promoting it, but if there's no sales, the theory is really useless and it's not at work. So I thought that lacked majorly. And some of the good things that came out of this article was their Twitter and tweets. They did prove that Twitter is the Got Chocolate Milk campaign and Twitter page was promoting it as a refuel beverage, and it was actively doing that very a lot. And the proof of negative effects of chocolate milk, they did a good job at that. They listed many side effects of drinking chocolate milk. They listed that it has a ton of sugar, and overall, they just made it out to be a really bad beverage, which is what they wanted to do in the article. In conclusion, we see the hegemonic theory is what they wanted to do, and that was their theory, which is basically just major athletes and respected people in societies will say something and it gets all the masses will follow. Although we did not see that at work, really. That is what they were trying to prove. Chocolate milk is not optimal for elite athletes with such high sugar and increased risk for diseases. They gathered and analyzed tweets as a method and used use their system to analyze them. Um, the Got Chocolate Milk promoted chocolate milk is the perfect beverage when it really wasn't, and it was not the perfect way to refuel. Overall, the article did lack some evidence on sales and consumption of chocolate milk as a whole, which really would have benefited the article, made it a little bit more trustable. But in the end, it did do a good job of proving that Twitter pages have been pushing chocolate milk as a post workout beverage and perfect beverage, which it is not.